morning and welcome to today's edition of A View from the House. My name is Abra Barbia. Members of Parliament have a hectic week ahead before they can start winding down at the end of this third quarter of the 2012 session. Both houses have scheduled plenary sessions until Thursday. The business of Parliament this week include questions to the Deputy President this afternoon in the NCOP and a joint debate tomorrow afternoon to congratulate outgoing Home Affairs Minister Dr. Nkosazana Dlamini-Zuma on her election as chairperson of the African Union Commission. A range of committees are also scheduled to scrutinise legislation before Parliament. One of those is the NCOP's ad hoc committee that is scheduled to meet until 10 o'clock tonight to deliberate on the protection of state information. In today's programme, we recap on questions in the National Assembly as well as a debate on Heritage Month. But before we go there, we have feedback on a housing Indaba held in the Western Cape. 12 million poor South Africans still do not have formal housing. The current housing demand is estimated at just over 2 million housing units. Currently, the state only delivers around 200,000 units per year. The Department of Human Settlement says it will take a decade to clear this backlog. The South African landscape, familiar scenes, informal settlements spring up, fueled by urbanization as more people flock to the cities in search of a better life. 18 years after democracy, government acknowledges the severity of the problem.
Fiscal constraints and other challenges, such as capacity to deliver, means that delivery is contained at about 220,000 units annually, at an estimated budget of 21 billion rands. This means that at the current rate of delivery, it will take us about a decade to settle the current backlogs.
Kota Fredericks was addressing an annual housing Indaba in Cape Town. This conference is attended by both international and local delegates. The South African Housing Foundation aims to bring practitioners in this sector together to find solutions to advance delivery. Western Cape Premier Helen Ziller says in terms of cooperation, the national government and the Provincial Human Settlements Department work together well. But she says it will take many years to clear the backlog.
We also understand that if we do so, it will take in some instances 50 years for people to move through the process to get a subsidized house with all the complexities that we face.
Government says it has come up with a plan to improve its capacity to deliver houses faster. The plan includes training officials who will work on the human settlements rollout. A scholarship program to secure the sector's scarce skills will also be introduced, as well as a new professional qualification, the Bachelor of Human Settlements Development. Well, September is Heritage Month with National Heritage Day to be celebrated next week. But how should South Africans spend it? Should it just be another holiday or a National Bride Day, or is it more than that? Well, that's what members of Parliament asked during a joint sitting to celebrate Heritage Day. They particularly look at how this day should attribute to social cohesion and nation building. At his inauguration in May 2009, President Jacob Zuma called on all South Africans to renew their commitment to nation building and the advancement of social cohesion. But according to the chief whip of the ruling party, Dr. Matole Motshekga, Parliament and public representatives have failed the president and the public. Introducing the joint debate on nation building and social cohesion in Parliament, Dr. Motshekga said since 2009, South Africa had witnessed incidents of xenophobia, religious conflicts, sexism, and the marginalization of civil society organizations. This had led to a civil society organization summit which lamented the social distance between Parliament and the people.
Parliament has a strategic and political obligation to deepen democracy, advance nation building, and promote social cohesion. As an organ of state, Parliament's work must respond to the constitutional imperatives laid out for it, both in terms of the specific responsibilities assigned to it in Chapter 4 of the Constitution and the higher order values and objectives reflected in the preamble of the Constitution. The preamble of the Constitution requires a commitment to heal the divisions of the past and establish a society based on democratic values, social justice, and fundamental human rights. Lay the foundations for a democratic and open society in which government is based on the will of the people and every citizen is equally protected by the law. Improve the quality of life of all citizens and free the potential of each person and build a united and democratic South Africa able to take its rightful place as a sovereign state in the community of nations.
Well, Beryl Ferguson of the Congress of the People said a cohesive society was a prerequisite for political democracy and social stability. A society with evenly distributed wealth was better able to achieve higher productivity and economic growth. Ms. Ferguson said at this point in time, one might well ask what the future inheritance of the nation's children would be.
Will it be the vision of our Constitution realized, or will it be a future of unrealized expectations, one where the freedoms that we today so cherish have been eroded, where equality before the law is not guaranteed, where access to education, health and other services are reserved for the elite? Do we want our children to inherit a bankrupt education system, one not conducive to learning, or a healthcare system where your chances of surviving illness is greater outside of it, where our environment has been ravished by rapacious speculators, where personal safety and security is a fragile concept, where the wealth of our country has become the personal piggy bank of the robber barons. All this due to the bankruptcy of spirit of the custodians of our Constitution. I pray not, Honourable Chairperson.
Well, the president of the Inkatha Freedom Party, Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi, said Parliament should ask itself if celebrations of Heritage Day succeeded in uniting people. He said the day seemed to have become just a public holiday for some and a braai day for others. The Prince had a challenge to the nation.
Perhaps this year we should challenge South Africans to invite someone unexpected to their braai. Invite someone who is different from you and your family, and spend some time around the braai, finding out about their lives, their dreams, their daily challenges. Invite your work colleague who lives in a different area or comes from a different cultural background. Invite a car guard. Invite a clinic sister. Invite a rabbi, an imam, or a pastor. Invite a single mom. Invite someone poorer than you or someone much wealthier than yourself. But an invitation out at an old age home, or invite some children from your local orphanage.
After the break, we listen to more views on nation building and social cohesion at a time when South Africa is celebrating its national heritage. Do stay with us.